Video you're getting ready to watch is me working a 3-year-old stallion. This particular horse had developed kind of an issue around his feet a little bit, so I'm using a rope as a gentling technique. It's also serving as a humbling technique for this young stallion as well, but it's a very effective tool. I do want you to know that I did voice over it, because actually I didn't even know I was being filmed when I was doing it, so I needed to voice over to explain what I'm doing. So that's the reason for that. But it's not very long, but you'll see the effect, and it is just another way to make the right thing easy and the wrong thing difficult, and allow these horses to find their way to that quiet, peaceful place. So it's a very effective tool when it's done correctly. Right here, I've got a rope around this horse's flank, and I want this horse to come with me every time he feels a little tension on that rope. And he's got a choice. He can either go off and jump and buck and play, or he can quietly come with me. And that's the purpose behind this, is to get this horse to where as soon as he feels that rope, he surrenders and gets quiet. This is an opportunity here for him to make choices, and the choices he makes out of this will determine what I do. If he's coming with me, there's slacking that rope, and I'll let him just flow along there with me. He should yield to me to the right and to the left, depending on what I'm doing with the horse I'm riding. Now I'm just going to ride up there and loosen that rope up a little bit and drop it off over his hip. And I'm going to let it fall down, and then I'm going to let him just step into one with one hind leg. It's important that I get that rope around his pastern. I do not want it up on his leg. If it's too high up on the leg, it'll clamp those tendons, and they'll react out of the pain that might be caused from that rope squeezing on those tendons. But down on the pastern, there's nothing for it to hurt there, so I'll just wait. And when I take the slack out of the rope, if he pulls and if he kicks, I'll just hang on to it. See, I don't even have any gloves on, and I'm just holding that rope easy there and waiting on him. As soon as he quits, see, that probably immediately puts slack in the rope for him. And I want him to, at this point, to just stand still. Now, as I'm starting to walk around him here, he's going to start feeling that rope. There it is on his left hind leg. There it is on his left front leg. Now it's coming around to his right front. I'm just wrapping that rope around him so that he can feel the sensation of that rope all around his body. His tendency is to want to come with me, but as he feels that, his best choice was to stand still right there. I'm going to stop him right here. Again, he's got a choice. He can quietly yield like that. I'd like for him to set his toe down on the ground there. Every time he makes the right choice, I'll let him have some time in that and let that peaceful thought just be with him. That's what I want him to be, is quiet, just like that. He's feeling it on that other hind leg, and he's wanting to face up to me, which is okay, but I'd rather him just stay quiet and not kick at that rope. If he does, I just let him work it out. I don't try to stop it. I'm just letting him work it out. I'm not pulling harder when he's kicking. I'm just letting him work it out and letting him find out that the relief comes when you set that foot down and you get quiet. I would add that it's not a real good idea to be directly behind them when you're doing this, because if they do kick, they can kick that rope off, and that rope will come back at you pretty rapidly. But if you're out to the side just a little bit, things usually work out a lot better. Again, I'm going to take that rope around his body, let him feel it. You might wonder, how does he know when I want him to come to me, and how does he know when he should stay still? The answer to that is whatever my intent is. If I want him to be still, I'm going to make standing still the easy thing. If I want him to come with me, I'm going to make coming with me the easy thing. So now I'm just letting him, let this gelding come up there beside him, and he's handling it nicely. Really nicely for a young stallion. This is a humbling experience for a horse, and it really does a lot in gentling them when it's done properly. You got to use some common sense here, and not just fight with them on it. That's not the intent at all. The intent is to accomplish a mindset in a horse that is quiet, relaxed, and will accept anything that's going on around him. This horse had exhibited from time to time a lot of anxiety about things around his feet. So this is an exercise here in humility for him. It's an exercise in giving him a chance to work through a troubled spot. I want him to just relax and set that toe down on the ground right there. He needs to let me take that foot out behind. There he goes. There. He's just looking around at that rope to see what's got a hold of him. And that's understandable. Every time he gets quiet, you see that release is there, so we just get the opportunity. And that's all anything is an opportunity to reinforce that whenever you don't understand what's going on, if you get quiet, everything's going to be all right. There's no need to panic. I believe this is an exercise here that will also help a horse to survive. That it's not unusual for horses to find themselves caught up in a fence or caught up in something out in the field. It's impossible to keep a place so clean that there's nothing out there for them to get caught on. So if they do, it's much better for the horse to get quiet and wait on you to come get him out of a bind than it is for him to get upset and fight his way through and really hurt himself. So the gentler that we can have them about this kind of thing, the safer it is for the horse in the long run, and safer for you as well. I just want him to stand still and let me toss that rope up over his back here now. He's wanting to just face up. I get it tossed up over his back, then I'll have him follow along with me. Now I've decided I want him to come with me. He's standing over there by the fence, and this is a place where I tie horses a lot, and he's acting like he's tied up. So it's going to take a little bit to get him to come off of that fence, probably. Trying to get his feet moving here. Just let a little movement be a desensitizing thing, as well as an opportunity to get his feet moving softly here, willingly. I've got it down on his nose right now. I'm just kind of leading his nose around towards me. I'm waiting for him to take a step towards me with that left front foot. There it is right there. Now it's around his other front leg, and he's going to find his way through. There, he found it. Now he can come with me. Now he's just walking along, just as he did when the rope was around his flank. So my end goal with this is to get a horse to where it doesn't matter where the rope is. I could have it just on the end of his tail, or no rope at all, and have him follow and lead with me as he's going along.